Good evening. We begin with breaking news tonight. Coordinated terrorist attacks have rocked the Indian city of Mumbai today. Mumbai used to be called Bombay. It is a very cosmopolitan city. It's the financial capital of India. At least 80 people have reportedly been killed there, and at least 900 people have been reported wounded. Our partner network in India, NDTV, is reporting that more than 100 people are reportedly being held hostage at this hour. Terrorists armed with bombs, grenades, and machine guns reportedly struck possibly 10 different locations across the city. 2 luxury hotels, hospitals, a housing complex, a crowded train station, and a police station. There is video of one of the attacks. You can see a van here, I think, approach a crowded sidewalk before gunmen begin firing. People duck for cover. Some people are hit as a van drives away. I think we've got that video coming. In one other strike, armed attackers entered a Mumbai landmark, the Taj Mahal Hotel, and started firing, sending guests scurrying. An unknown number of others were taken hostage. There have been numerous reports of armed gunmen specifically seeking out American and British guests at the hotel. I thought we had... Okay, sorry, I thought we had sound there. Sorry.
They wanted anyone with British or American passports. So anyone who had a British or American passport, they wanted to know.
At least one explosion ricocheted through the Taj Hotel. A fire broke out on the upper floors, flames shooting from the windows. Indian security forces later stormed the hotel. At this hour, officials have now apparently gotten the fires at least partially under control in at least one of those hotels in which there were fires. At least 4 suspects have been killed. Another 10 have been arrested. But a local Indian official says the situation is still not under control as forces continue to battle the terrorists, some of whom are holding out inside. We've got some images from closed-circuit TV cameras of armed gunmen that were taken a little bit earlier tonight. These are some of those images, still images from the closed-circuit TV cameras. A little-known group called the Deccan Mujahadine has claimed responsibility for these attacks, but nobody seems to know who they are or if their claim of responsibility should be taken seriously. Right now at this hour, it is morning in Mumbai. It's daylight. And just minutes ago, we've heard that more gunfire broke out close to the Taj Hotel. Do we have new video of that we've got to roll? Yes, we do. As you can see, those images taken in daylight, those are very recent images and recent sound from Mumbai. Joining us right now is Richard Engel, who's the NBC News chief foreign correspondent. Richard, thank you very much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. We've been in touch with people who are in the hotel, with journalists on the ground, and it is still an ongoing situation. There are at least 3 places in Mumbai where there are hostages being held. They are in the hospital and in these 2 5-star luxury hotels. In the Taj Hotel in particular, it's estimated that there are a handful of gunmen. It's unclear how many. It could be 5, according to some local authorities. It could be a number higher than that, and then between 100 to 150 members of the hotel staff and some foreigners. Where they are exactly in the hotel is also unclear. Initially, they had been taken up to the upper floors. The gunmen had been herding them to the suites, trying to get to the roof. Then some security forces, Indian security forces, entered the lobby of the hotel, and there have been some gunfights in the hotel. So it's not clear if the gunmen are actually in control of the guests who are in the hotel, or if the guests are just trapped in an ongoing situation.
We know that there was a number of different attacks across the city, as many as 10, as we said. Does it seem like the same sort of tactics were used in all of the different assaults, that we're seeing a pattern of activity that would imply some sort of coordinated training for these things? This
was certainly a coordinated attack, and it was very well carried out, according to counterterrorism officials. They described it as a very professional and highly coordinated attack. And it started around dinner time, and small teams fanned out across the city and simultaneously attacked restaurants, took these hotels under siege. And in each case, they had a very similar strategy. When the gunmen entered the 2 luxury hotels, they started looking for foreigners and looking specifically for holders of British and American passports. And this is what's been told by people who have been released from the hotel or managed to escape. Once they found a group that they were looking for, they brought them up to the upper floors and prepared for a standoff, and that's what we're in right now.
And in terms of the standoff, we haven't yet heard that they've made specific demands or that they have made that they've proclaimed any sort of ideology or goals in doing these attacks, have we?
We have not heard that. At least 9 of the militants, according to Indian officials, have been arrested, and undoubtedly they are being interrogated. But there have been no public demands, and there has only been one public claim of responsibility by a group that was previously unknown.
Do we know anything about the nationality or anything else about the people who have been taken hostage? You said that people were being herded to the upper floors in some of these hotels. Have we heard from multiple sources these claims that they were trying to single out, for example, British and American people?
Yes. That gentleman who you played the clip from earlier, who had smoke on his face, is a perfect example. He's one of the sources. He was a hostage himself and was in the room when people were trying to negotiate, if you will, with these hostage takers. There was a group of Italians who were saying, well, we're not Americans, we're Brits, or Brits, we're Italians, and they said, go, go. And he managed in the chaos to escape. He himself was a British national of Indian origin, but a British passport holder.
Richard, obviously this is an ongoing situation, and we don't want to get too far from the immediate events and start speculating about their larger implications while things are still going on and while there are still active military and policing operations here underway to try to get this under control and to rescue those hostages and people who may be trapped. However, everybody is wondering, who are these people and why are they doing it? And is this a familiar group? Is there anything about the tactics, the fact that this does not seem to be the work of suicide bombers, suicide attackers, for example? Is there anything about the way this has been carried out that tells you anything about who this might be?
It's hard to know at this early stage, but it does have all of the indications of a radical fringe group that potentially motivated by the events in Kashmir, the dispute between India and Pakistan over Kashmir. But the way they're operating does indicate I guess you could call it an al-Qaeda franchise. They chose a financial center, simultaneous attacks on civilians with the idea of gathering a lot of media attention. But until they make any kind of demands or results of the interrogations are known, it's unclear. There's been a lot of speculation. People have talked about Lashkar al-Taiba. It's one of the groups that has been mentioned, again, with associations to Kashmir. But it would be speculation at this stage to name a group.
And of course, when you describe all those elements that mark this as a sort of al-Qaeda franchise attack, the other thing that we all think when we draw those parallels to 9/11, as you list those criteria, is that this is the sort of thing that wouldn't take zillions of dollars to pull off. This is a relatively low-tech, low-cost operation, right?
That's the problem. And that is what I think is the big takeaway from this, is that a very small group of people, maybe we're talking in total 20, 30 gunmen who spread out across the city with some weapons, but nothing that would be difficult to find. Some hand grenades. There was reports of at least a car bomb that had been placed by near one of the locations. Some AK-47s. Nothing that would be very difficult to find. And with a lot of discipline and a plan, they were able to shut down one of the world's great financial centers. And that is the concern, that it could become a model for other terrorist groups, the same way London on 7/7 became a model, Madrid became a model, 9/11 became a model. This has for an urban attack, It was a very cheap and very effective way of causing a lot of damage.
Richard Engel, thank you very much for being with us tonight. I know you've been reporting all this. Good day, all day long. Good luck with the continuing reporting tonight.
Thank you very much.